children, it's Mrs. Lee here. It's assembly number 3 and it's week 7 and we are so close to being the end of the half term. We've been together for 7 weeks and we've been working very hard, haven't we? We've been listening, we've been kind, we've been helpful. So many things that we've been doing in our school, and I'm so proud of you. Well done. Give yourselves a pat on the back. Very good. Right, a couple more days left, and then we're going to break up. Now, we won't see each other for 7 days. There's more than that, isn't it? Because there's lots of sleeps involved. So we've got Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, 10 sleeps. So quite a long time. I hope that you have a fantastic half term. You might be going on holiday. Don't forget to show some respect though. Be quiet when you're coming back from the disco. You might be staying at home. I'm staying at home. So we might see each other down at the park if I'm walking my dog Smithy. Make sure you say hello to me. But whatever you do, I need you to be safe. Make sure you do listen to your grown-ups. All right, I want to see everybody back in school, ready for the last half term. Okay. I want to read you one of my favourite books. It's called This Is Our House, but I don't want to do it here. It's quite chilly in the hall with the doors open and the windows open. I think we'll go somewhere else. So I'll see you in 3, 2, 1. Hello children, I'm here in class 6. And class 6 belongs to Mrs. Dutoy and to Miss Adams. Now, Mrs. Lee and Mrs. Hyam had a little walk around school and we were talking about our school environment and saying it would be really nice if we could spruce it up a little bit. And Mrs. Dutoy had good listening skills, and on Friday she has spent an awful lot of time making her classroom and especially her reading corner here really inviting. Have a quick look, have a sneaky peek. So up here on the wall, so if you can see up high, we've got the bags that help us with our story writing. And class 5 and class 6 have been working really hard on a story called The Story Machine. And all the bags up there help people to write the story. We've also got pictures of other books that they've been reading. I don't know if you can see, it's a lovely display up there. There's lots and lots of characters up on the wall that you might remember from books that you've read. There's a lovely globe here because we've been thinking about in geography where Antarctica is. They've also got some really cool chapter books right away down here. Can you see them? Lovely, and they're really put in nicely so that you can look at the front covers and look at the titles and think, oh, is that a book that I'd like to read? I must be very respectful when I'm in here. Make sure I put everything back. And also just behind me, I don't know if you can see, there's a cool little rocking chair. Now, Mrs. Lee would love to sit in the rocking chair, but she might be a bit like Goldilocks. Do you remember Goldilocks? She wasn't very respectful, was she, when she went into the Three Bears house? So if I sat in that, I'd probably break it and somebody would be very unhappy. I don't know if you can see behind me, it's a lovely bookshelf, all the books, including some of the books that they've read, so that the children can read them again. It's so cool to be able to read a book more than once. So thank you so much to Mrs. Dutoy and Miss Adams for making this room look so inviting. I'm going to read my favourite story in here. So one of my favourite stories is This Is Our House, and it's written by a man called Michael Rosen. Michael Rosen has written lots of books. How many of you have been reading We're Going on a Bear Hunt? Yes, children in class 1 and class 2, you have, haven't you? And you made your wonderful masks. You were listening to Mrs. Eagle and listening to Miss Legg read that book to you. Well, Michael Rosen wrote this book called This Is Our House. I'll give you a quick synopsis. The blurb on the back says, George says the cardboard house is his and no one else can play in it. But Lindy, Marley, Freddie, Charlene, Marlene, Luther, Sophie and Rashida have other ideas. I thought this book linked to our golden rules. I wonder which golden rule that George is breaking. I I wonder if he's going to be careful. I wonder if he's going to work hard with his friends. I wonder if he's going to listen. I wonder if he's going to be kind. And I wonder if he's going to be helpful. Listen out. Okay, here we go. This is where George lives. So he lives in flats, different houses, different homes, okay? But in the middle of the flats, they've got this really cool little park area that the children can go and share. They've got a cardboard box and they're making it a home. Here we go. George was in the house. This house is mine and no one else is coming in, George said. It's not your house, George, said Lindy. It belongs to everybody. No, it doesn't, said George. This house is all for me. Lindy and Marley went for a walk over to the swings. It's not George's house, is it? Said Lindy. No, of course it isn't, said Marley. Lindy and Marley looked through the window. It's not your house, George, and we're coming in. Oh, no, you're not, said George. This house isn't for girls. Girls, are you happy about that? No way. Well, Freddie was walking past with his rabbity. I've come to put Rabbity to bed, said Freddie. You can't, said George. This house isn't for small people like you. Freddie took Rabbity for a ride in the car. Charlene and Marlene mended the front wheel. George won't let me and Rabbity in the house, said Freddie. Charlene and Marlene, Freddie and Rabbity headed straight for the house. Stop right there, said George. Well, we're coming in to mend the fridge, said Charlene and Marlene. Oh, no, you're not, said George. This house isn't for twins. Luther's jumbo jet landed in the house. He went to fetch it. Where do you think you're going? Said George. Well, flight 505 has crashed, said Luther, and I'm coming in to the rescue. Fire, fire, ee-ya. You're not coming in here, said George. Pushing him out. Luther radioed for help. Calling Dr. Sophie, calling Dr. Sophie. Can I help you? Said Sophie. We can't get to the plane, Doctor, said Luther. Leave it to me, said Sophie. Sophie and Luther pushed past the crowds. Make way for the doctor, said Luther. We're coming in, said Sophie. Oh, no, you're not, said George. This house isn't for people with glasses. I'm so shocked. Rashida had a plan. I'm going to tunnel in. She poked her head under the house. Go away, said George. This is my house. Well, this is my tunnel, said Rashida. We'll tunnel somewhere else, he said. This house isn't for people who like tunnels. It was getting quite noisy around the house now, and hot. And George wanted to go to the toilet. I'm going to leave my house now, said George. And no one can go in it while I'm gone. George went to the toilet. What do you think is going to happen? Well, Lindy, Marley, Freddie, Rabbity, Marlin, Charlene, Luther, Sophie and Rashida went straight into the house. George came back. There was no room for George. This house isn't for people with red hair, said Charlene. George began to shout. George began to cry. George began to stamp his feet and kick the wall. And then he stopped. And then he looked. This house is for people with red hair, said George.
and for girls and small people and twins and people who wear glasses and those that like tunnels.
Because, shouted Lindy, Marley, Freddie, Marlin, Charlene, Luther, Sophia and Rashida, this house is for everyone! That's my favourite page. Do you think George is being very respectful, children? He wasn't being very respectful, was he? He wasn't being very respectful to the other children. He was quite rude sometimes, wasn't he? I think he hurt some people's feelings. But he did in the end listen, and he thought, and he changed his ways. And we can all change our ways. So if you've been a little bit unkind to somebody, you can go up to them and say sorry and change your ways, can't you? And you can definitely be respectful. I'm going to be respectful now because I'm going to leave class 6, but I need to leave it the way that I found it. So when I first came in, I don't know if you can see, children, but just here in the corner, there is a light. So I'm going to switch off the light now. Okay, I'm going to make sure that the books are put back nice and neatly. Just make sure, I'm going to make sure that the map is left where I left it, and all the books, oh dear, I might have moved that one across, are all facing the right way. I'm going to be very respectful, and when I see Mrs. Dutoy and Miss Adams, I'm going to say thank you. How lucky are we to have teachers in our school who are very respectful and want you to have such a lovely area to come and read in. Okay, right, let's finish there very, very quickly with our school prayer. Help me to do the things I should, to be to others kind and good, in all my work and all my play, to grow more loving every day. Amen. Have a brilliant half term. If you manage to find a box at home, I hope that with your friends and your family, you play with everybody in that box. Be good, and I'll see you in 10 sleeps time. Bye.